Good morning. I probably should go for a run today, but it's kind of really cold outside. It's too cold to run, or at least that's what I'm telling myself.
Jump!
Emmy,
Jump!
you can
Jump!
do it.
Jump!
You can do it. Can't you do it?
I don't think so.
Woo!
Hi! I didn't.
I think so. I'm sorry.
Sorry. How did we do that? Jamie.
We called the wrong. We just called the wrong number on FaceTime.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Okay, take 2.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. There it is. There she is. Okay. Hello? Oh, there. Oh my gosh! Do you have a lizard?
Yeah, I got this for my birthday.
Oh, wow. So you get to go bye-bye.
Then we got Emmy right here.
Oh, boy. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You okay, girl? You know, try as I might, I cannot think of a good way to make today into some kind of story. So, you know the YouTube go-to. And darn it, you asked some great questions, so I guess without further ado, how do you get over feeling awkward about filming in public? Speaking of which, someone just popped in here. Honestly, like, I mean, when you're first getting started, maybe see if you can find like a spot kind of out of the way, like where there's not very many people, where you're still technically in public, but like there's not people nearby that would be like forced to interact with you, you know? As you've probably noticed, that's that's what I do a lot. And my another piece of advice is just be like, honestly, watch a lot of other vloggers and notice how like very little care is given when they're filming in public, right? When people like walking behind them, they just don't care. People just naturally figure it's none of their business. Like most people's thought process basically goes, if it doesn't concern me, I don't care. So and filming, you know, the great thing about filming in public places like sidewalks and, you know, public parks and stuff is like no one can tell you to stop, right? If you, well, I mean, I guess they can ask you to stop, but legally you don't have to. Legally speaking, like people don't have an expectation of privacy when they're out and about on like a public, you know, place. So granted, private places like stores are a little different, but yeah. Aww. Hey. Hey. How often do you have to How often do you have to set up a camera somewhere, go past it, and come back just to get the next shot? Honestly, like, a lot. Like, shots where you're walking towards the camera are easy, right? Because you can see it. It's shots where you have to turn your back on it and walk a distance away from it. That's scary. I don't trust people that much. How do you effectively tell a story that may be unrelated to what's going on in your day? I've read this like 4 times, and for some reason I'm not understanding exactly what you're asking. I think you're asking like how do you condense the whole day, the unstructured day into a story for YouTube. I think that's what you're asking, in which case I honestly approach these sometimes with the mindset that like I'm making a documentary, right? Because I mean that's kind of what I'm doing. I am documenting my life, but told in a documentary fashion, right? And what do you have in a documentary? You have like the talking heads like this, and then you have some B-roll, and you have like establishing shots, right? Like you tell it. Just study like nice documentaries or even freaking TV shows, like that kind of thing. I'm very precariously balancing this camera on this giant stack of cat food, like what the heck. Is it weirder carrying a DSLR versus something smaller like a G7X? Honestly, man, the G7X is so much easier to vlog with daily. Like, this giant camera attracts so much attention, and people, like, sometimes security thinks I'm like shooting for some show. They'll, you know, come up to me and say like, hey, what's your team? Who are you shooting here with? I'm like, my grandmother. It's just me. I'm shooting a little thing for YouTube. And they say like, oh, we don't allow like productions to be created. I'm like, it's just a vlog, but okay. Versus like when you're shooting with this, especially here in LA, like people just assume you're kind of a tourist and you can get away with so much more. So this is so much easier to vlog with. The reason I don't though is I just love those physical dials. Their DSLRs are faster and, in my opinion, look and sound a whole lot better. So you gotta balance, like, right, quality versus ease of use, because if it's so here's the dilemma, right? You'd think, oh, always go for like quality over ease of use, but no, because if getting the best quality gets in your way, then you're not going to create as much, which means you're not going to get as good like experience creating, which means that the quality of your stuff is not going to be nearly as high as it would be if you were creating something daily. Workflow always is prioritized over quality. That's why there's like no one daily vlogging with a red. How many mics have you gone through? Too freaking many. There was the first Video Mic Pro I ever bought. That broke, so I replaced it with another one that lasted me for like years. It came here with me to LA. And then I busted it, so I bought another Video Mic Pro to replace it, but then that Video Mic Pro was like, I busted it within like a week, but then I was able to salvage some of the parts and like make this amalgamation of those two broken Video Mic Pros and make one single working Video Mic Pro, which is the one I'm using now. But then I actually broke that, and then I had all my summer travels last year, so I bought a stereo Video Mic Pro and then broke that, and so to make up for that, I brought just the normal video mic on that trip and then busted that. And then once I got home, I sent them all into road, got all 3 of those repaired, and now here we are. I now have 3 working microphones, backup and backup and backup, because I'm freaking destructive to microphones. Speaking of microphones, what is the best mic for cheap? I mean, it depends. I'm assuming you're talking about a microphone for vlogging. It depends on how you define cheap. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the Video Mic Pro, despite its apparent fragileness. But if $200 is slightly out of your price range, then honestly, I think like the frickin' still quality microphone is the Rode Video Mic. I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, but you know what? It gets the job done, and it's like $100, so... And it's by Rode, which is a reputable company that I trust. Is there a secret to how you edit your vlogs so quickly? Frickin' keyboard shortcuts, right? I know that like certain things that I do all the time, ripple delete, like time remapping and like adjusting the size, I just set those to like ripple delete, I just hit the D key, right? Resize, I just hit the S key. You know, like keyboard shortcuts and setting up my own like workspace has just like allowed me to just focus on the stuff that I do use all the time and then hide away any of the features and settings that I don't use all the time. Like I never use the media browser in Premiere, so I just hid that, right? If I need it, then I'll go and like specifically pull it up, but otherwise just get out of my way. I only want the things, I only want to be able to see the things that I'm going to need. Apologies for the slight pause in the vlog. Back to the questions. How can you get people to relax when you're photographing them? Hun, I'm still trying to figure that out. How do you make your shots look good without a whole lot of time setting equipment up? Well, thank you. Honestly, I've kind of figured out like my default look for these shots, right? And so the whole thing with daily vlogging, especially when you're daily vlogging with other people, is time is super important, right? You don't have any time to set up, and for the most part, you only have one shot to get a lot of takes. So literally any preparation you can do ahead of time freaking do that. That's why literally every morning before I even start the vlogs, I have like this little routine, right? I pop in a fresh battery. I literally have 2 batteries that I just have a loop. When one is in the camera, the other is in the charger. Pop that in, format the memory card, and check the settings are all good. I usually average at like ISO 640, you know, f2.8, shutter speed of around 100, with the white balance usually on like the cloudy setting or like the manual Kelvin, you know, scale thing, just because I know that that's a look that I really like. And so you have that all set up, know what you want. Yes, that even better. Say you're going to like an amusement park, right? In the car ride on the way there, be thinking about the shots that you want. No, be thinking about the final video, the look of the final video that you want to make, and then figure out what shots will comprise that, and then figure out how to do those shots so that when you finally arrive at the amusement park, you are prepared. Because to me at least, what usually takes the most time is just standing there trying to figure out how can I make this look interesting. So if you've already got that part all like taken care of, then when the moment actually gets there, you know, okay, I just need to set my tripod up, and that's just boom. It's so get the preparation out of the way before you start shooting. How do you have time to edit your videos? Honestly, at this point, I've become like so used to it because it's like doing the same things over and over and over. So I can usually burn through it. So like keyboard shortcuts and stuff. And again, it's gotten to the point where like before I even start recording, I know what I want the final video to be like. So I shoot with the edit in mind. So that then when I'm like editing, I'm not trying to remember, or like I'm not like sitting there thinking, why did I shoot this? What the heck? Each shot has a purpose. Because at that point, it's less like editing and more just like, okay, this is just the final step. Just gotta do this, right? It's just like putting all the clips together. I don't know if that made any sense. Hopefully you get the gist of what I'm talking about. So there you go. I hope that helped. If you've been like wanting to start daily vlogging, hope that little advice kind of helped. I don't know. Like genuinely, I think the best advice I could give is literally just do it, right? It's the 10,000 hours. After a while, things start becoming like a routine and you get into the flow, and every day you wake up and like you kind of already know the general gist of the honestly, one little bonus tip here. The first thing I usually do in the mornings is go to like where I get my music up at epicsound.com and like scroll around a bit until I find a song that I really like and I want to use in the video, and then I know what kind of theme, right, what kind of mood that the video is going to be. And especially like when I'm shooting B-roll, I'll sometimes like have that be playing just so I kind of get a gist of like when to cut on the beat. That's another tip. Cut on the beat, guys. Also, I would like to just call attention to the fact that I am wearing my Twin Sauce shirt today, which was completely coincidental, but I thought that was really funny. Anyway, I hope that helped you out. If you are interested in starting daily vlogging, just freaking start it. And also, stay positive. Smooth.
This is me, I'm still on it, 'cause you all want